We are 4 days away from the official kickoff of the 2025 season for the Cleveland Browns. And in years past, since we've been doing this show, it has felt, and the lead up to this first game had felt special. Everyone in the gym was talking about it. You couldn't walk down the street without hearing Browns chatter. And I'm curious if you guys feel that this year has that same level of juice, I'll use for lack of a better word, or if it feels a little bit lacking. I looked up tickets available for week 1 using our good friend at Game Time, Bull, your favorite app on the interweb. And as of this morning, there were still quite a few tickets available on the Game Time app. And you can take that. You can see all the open seats from the lower deck to the upper deck. I checked on SeatGeek. I checked on Ticketmaster as well. If you want tickets, you can absolutely find tickets to the Browns home opener on Sunday. So, guys, do you feel like there's the same level of juice surrounding this year's week 1, or does it feel a little less than in the last couple of years since UCSS has started?
I think it's the least excitement I've seen in a while. I mean, a number of years, and I think there's a variety of reasons for it. I think almost every year there's been a quarterback you've been excited about starting the season. In many of these years. I mean, the year Deshaun got suspended, that was a weird year. So, you thought maybe the team could you were still excited because you knew at some point you were going to see Deshaun Watson on the Browns for the first time. And we've had that hope. But this year, your quarterback's 40. The rookies were late draft picks. The team on paper is just not good. You convince yourself anything you want. The team, it's just, and we in the media and the Browns have caused this, have spent the last 6 months telling everybody this year doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's next year.
Yeah, you're right.
And so that is all these things have factored in, guys.
I completely agree with you that this season does feel like the least amount of buzz there has been since I've been covering.
What
this
about
team.
going back to 16 when we were,
No, there's still
was there more
still
buzz?
For sure.
But that's a while ago, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like.
Yeah, no, I know when you said for a while, but
It's
for
basically
me,
a decade at that
coming off
point.
an 0-16.
I mean, I don't know.
1-15. I wasn't juiced at all.
No.
I've been doing the media stuff in Cleveland since 2011, so this is, almost 15 years
Yeah.
doing this thing, and there's never been this little buzz for
Why?
a team. I don't know. I think there's apathy.
I think there's some of that, yeah.
Maybe. I just think that there's just nobody thinks this team could win the Super Bowl this year. There's not one person, and let's be honest, they can't.
No.
They literally cannot win the Super Bowl this year, no matter what. So,
And even last year, it was like, hey, maybe, you never know.
no, there's
Well,
no
I mean,
chance.
coming into the season, there was
Right.
a little bit of hope coming into last
You hope,
year.
okay, maybe
Because
this
we
is
were
the year
coming-
Watson can turn it around. Or
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the Watson stuff was obviously a glimmer of hope for a minute, but it was
Yeah.
more just on paper than it was actually on the
Right.
field.
Right, we hadn't
Yeah.
seen
There was
anything
nothing
here.
tangible that we could put to it.
Nope.
But now there's nothing this year. I guess our hope was maybe that Shedeur was going to be a superstar in training camp, and
Right.
then that sort of fell on its face, right, a little bit. And here we are with Joe Flacco again. And no one expects Joe Flacco to start more than 7 games. So then
right.
you're like, okay, well, what is this season all about? Developing these rookie quarterbacks, trying to figure out if they're any good, getting the number 1 pick. I don't know. And now Arch Manning looks like shit. Crap, excuse me. Sorry, excuse my language. Looks like crap. And, that's the deal.
Yeah, when the messaging is off. Like, we've been talking about it all off season, right? We talked about, okay, you got these quarterbacks. There's a buzz around to see, okay, maybe Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders are going to get an opportunity to play. Maybe that's what it looks like, right? But we spent the whole offseason talking about Kenny Pickett. And then that was anticlimactic because, believe it or not, there was a lot of people who didn't think Kenny Pickett could play. They move him out. Joe Flacco is back, but, that run he had is 2 years ago, right? So we don't know if he's any good. And I think we don't know. He gives you the best chance to win today, but you don't know if he's going to have the upside to just get you 7, 8, 9 wins like that. And I think the major problem is when people start talking about like, oh, this year is a transition year. Man, when people be covering the team be saying that, that pours cold water on everything. Ain't nobody trying to hear nothing about no transition year. You can say that right now and it could be cute, but guess what? When it get to be October and you look at the schedule and you playing horrible and you still got 10, 12 weeks left to go and your team ain't no good and you're looking on the field, I think it also has to do with the fact that where the names at? You do got Myles Garrett. He's a defensive player. That's great. You got Denzel Ward. But your number one guy that you was going to hand the ball to, and a lot, Quinshawn Junkins, is not even in the building. He don't even got a contract. You're not playing one of the younger two rookies, right? That's more splash than playing a veteran. You really don't have a bell cow person like a Nick Chubb who people would go see just to see what Nick Chubb is going to do. And on top of that, you said that, hey, our quarterback ain't even here. It's next year. We're evaluating guys next year. I mean, you just told us not to care. So people take what you say, and there's the energy around it. It's not enough energy around it.
Yeah, I can't remember a time, and I hate to say this, going back to 99.
Yeah.
99, weren't we all excited?
Yeah, because
Of course.
we got our team back.
We'd been on a 3-year drought, and we got our team back. So we knew that expectations were low in 99, but God, I was excited. I couldn't wait to see orange and brown on my TV screen on Sundays again. And I knew it was going to be awful football. And then the 15, 16, 17 years with the 0-16, the amazing thing was at
Those
the end of the
awful
year
uniforms.
there was drama, and the drama was, can we win a game?
Or
Who's
going to jump in the lake?
Right, yeah.
Like, who's going to jump in the lake?
Who's going to be paying off these crazy bets?
Yeah.
But there was a little bit of excitement. I mean, but when I look at the wide receiver group, guys, I've been harping on that all through the offseason and up to now. But now we can really drive that nail because this is what we're going to war with.
Right.
This is ridiculous. This is an indictment. When you look at the roster of wide receivers on this team right now, I don't know how this even happened. I don't. I mean, obviously through a series of bad decisions and then more inaction. I think the inaction was brought on by the fact that what you said, oh, well, we're not going to win any games. So if we're not going to win any games, we're not going to try. The worst thing in the world to me, when it comes to anything, work, friendships, relationships, is lack of effort. Effort's free. I don't care if you were blessed with God-given talent. Effort's free. Go out there and work hard. And I'm not saying this team hasn't. What I'm saying is all of these built-in excuses that I've heard for 6 months. Oh, we're going to tank. We don't want to be any good. We want to be bad so we can get a good quarterback. To your point, who wants that? Yeah. Who wants Arch Manning? Look, the kid's going to, over the next 3 weeks, he'll throw for 800 yards.
He'll be great.
Good.
He'll
He'll be fine.
He'll be all right.
But is he the guy that the media told us he was? No.
Yeah.
He honestly, the meme that cracks me up the most is the Uncle Rico meme. I was saying watching the game, I'm like, this guy throws sidearm.
Yeah.
This guy, and I'd seen him a little bit last year, but not like I saw him Saturday. Like there are, and which is stunning.
He didn't
to me
ask for any of this pressure and stuff. I mean, the kid
no,
is who he is.
No, it's not his fault.
It's not his
I get
fault.
it, and to me, he's become a sympathetic figure, and I
know.
shouldn't be sympathetic for him because he's cashing big checks.
Yeah.
But and by the way, we always talk about when have we anointed someone before they were worthy of being anointed. LeBron James was. Tiger Woods, to an extent, was. Those dudes lived up to the hype, which to me makes them all-time OGs.
Yeah.
Because what we're seeing from Arch Manning now is, now that they're getting paychecks, they feel more of an obligation to perform. That kid felt the pressure Saturday.
Have you guys seen this before? I can't remember an owner going to personally scout
No,
somebody.
I'm glad you brought that up, G. I haven't seen that either.
Have you ever seen that?
Not that I can
You know what we're
recall.
going to see? Guys, this is my fear. Every Saturday, he's going to be on the I'm finding my next quarterback tour.
Yeah. That
Oh, my God.
we stay hidden.
Oh, no, we don't need him more involved. Jimmy,
No.
Jimmy, the problem here isn't that you haven't been involved enough. The problem here is that you've been too involved. Keep your private jet parked. Stop going to see these college quarterbacks. You're going to muck things up.
Sit in your booth and watch the game.
Watch the game, and you know what?
He was on the field.
Trust the people that you pay who are experts in that field. You ran a truck stop. You ran a truck stop.
Yeah.
A very successful.
I don't want
truck
to. I don't
stop.
want to defend Jimmy in this situation, but he's
Don't.
like really good friends with the Mannings.
Yeah, that's
So
his
like
thing.
I don't.
So?
But to your point, you said he's going to scout every quarterback. I think this is a one-off. I don't
Why
think
did
he's
he?
gonna,
No. He went to the LSU game to watch the LSU
You
quarterback.
went to Nussmeier's games?
Yeah.
I'm 99% sure that is accurate, Jay.
I haven't seen
That I
pictures
stand
of him.
corrected.
I've
that,
been-
that I stand. I
By the
stand
way-
corrected.
By the way, I know this
He's
is
literally getting.
And by the way, if you want to go see the kid,
No, okay, my
watch
bad.
him from
That's
from
right.
your box. Don't
Yeah.
why do you got to be seen down on the field? I got to see this up close. Who's my quarterback?
This is a little.
Oh my God! Stop it.
We've moved a little off topic from what
We did.
Mike wanted to talk about, but just a final thought on this is that it's going to take a special person to break this quarterback carousel that
It's
the
gonna take
Browns
Joe
have.
Burrow.
Yeah,
I mean,
someone like that.
It's gonna take someone like that.
because the
Someone
Browns
mature.
quarterback position has been so bad for so long that there's a pressure inherent in that.
Yeah.
And you see it with teams that are bad forever. It's so hard. The longer you go being bad, the harder it is to get over the hump of being
Well,
good.
you know what? To me,
Yeah.
The comparison is the Bengals. The Bengals have been dysfunctional for a long time.
They're still
despite the fact that
dysfunctional, but they're
they
able-
are. But
he
Joe
erases
Burrow's
all
the
the
great eraser.
He's the great
He's the
eraser.
great eraser. You put him out there, and also you've got one all-world wide receiver and another really good wide receiver.
But
if you're good at those spots, you can erase things. Their defense is still going to have a lot of question marks on it. But if you're putting up 40, it's gonna hide a lot of the warts.
Even when they didn't have Joe Burrow, let's be honest, Andy Dalton.
They've had some
He had
decent
more success
quarterbacks.
than anybody we've had since
Carson
'99.
Palmer.
Oh, without question,
So it's not like we asking for the world. We just want.
Oh, what the Bengals have done is they've drafted talented quarterbacks who are grown-ups.
Yeah, and they've done well with it.
Mature, who know how to play the position, and it allows a dysfunctional organization like the Bengals, Browns are very similar, to skate by a lot of mistakes and errors that they've made.
To look competent.
Yes.
Where with the Browns, they've missed at the single biggest, most important position in sports. And then all of their other dysfunction at other places on the field is magnified because you don't have a Joe Burrow that you can throw out there and say, make it look good.
Funniest part about the whole thing is that the comment that was made about, like, Baker, they wanted an adult in the room or whatever.
Yeah.
And yet here we are, basically the most competent the Browns have looked in the last X amount of years. I mean, they were competent, I guess, when Baker was here a little bit, but when Flacco played the 6 games, and the one variable there is you got a grown up.
Yeah.
That was the
And
best.
that's the one- and that's-
Even with the flaws in his game and the turnovers, it was the best the offensive looked.
So you had a grown up quarterback then. They had a little run. Brian Hoyer was a grown up, had a nice little run.
Yeah.
So there's a variable here. Let's get a guy who's actually mature and knows how to play the position. No drama.
maturity,
Yes.
and
yes.
level-headed, like a Joe Flacco.
And
honestly.
guess what? I actually,
But younger.
Even
20.
with all that being said, I actually have a good feeling about this weekend.
Oh, okay.
I was
You are
going to say,
excited about
as
the start of the
pessimistic as
Yeah.
this conversation has been, I've seen some of
Kool-Aid
your guys'
Mafia,
headline
baby.
predictions.
Kool-Aid Mafia.
For as pessimistic as this last 10 minutes has kind of been, I've seen some of the headline predictions, and it's not going to be a clean sweep either way. I'll just tell you that.
Yeah.
Some people are picking
Yeah.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Some people are picking Cincinnati.